Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. This will be a two-part video that dives into trading anxiety, stress, and emotions. Okay, so let's talk about how anxiety affects trading performance. But before we start, guys, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I release new content. Okay then, so if your goal is to become a successful trader, then knowing how and why anxiety affects a trader is crucial to not only finding success but also developing trading longevity. Because being in an emotional state of mind while trading is just not optimal. It can be extremely detrimental to our accounts, and we can lose a lot of money if we are in an emotional state. Therefore, successful trading is very state dependent. Let's take a look at this presentation I have here. I'm going to explain about anxiety in trading and how we can overcome that trading anxiety. So, as we can see here, we have to be in the right state of mind because trading is very state dependent. The state that we find ourselves in determines our success. So if we are in an emotional state of mind, our rational and objective decisions will suffer. And that in turn affects our performance in real time when we're trading. So if you want to overcome trading anxiety and become the trader that you wish to be, we first have to take a look at what an emotional state of mind is and the relationship between emotions, stress, and anxiety, right? Why do they surface when trading? To understand this point, we have to understand some definitions. What anxiety is, what stress is. So let's take a look at what anxiety is, okay? Here's the definition. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes like increased blood pressure. Okay, and what's stress? Stress is then the body's reaction to a threat. And anxiety then is the body's reaction to stress. So what does all of this mean? Well, let's take a look at this illustration here and see how stress and anxiety relate to each other. We can see that stress is short-term and it's a response to a recognized threat, which in case of trading, for example, can be the market moving against you and you recognize that as a threat to your wallet. And anxiety, on the other hand, is something that can linger. For example, if you have experienced the market go against you many times before, this feeling, this threat that you recognize might be something that it's just there. There's no trigger any longer. You're just constantly feeling it. These feelings of tension, these worried thoughts. Check the symptoms as well here, where we see that stress, there's a lot of symptoms that you just don't want as a trader. Anxiety as well, and we can see that all of these are very detrimental to our ability to be a trader. Unhappiness, nausea, loneliness, faster heartbeat, faster breathing. These two are biological parameters that we can actually measure in real time, so that if we find ourselves in a stressful situation, if we have some kind of biofeedback on, we can notice our heartbeat, like, is it beating faster, or what about our breath? Are we breathing faster? These are two parameters that we can use to recognize that we are in a state of mind that we don't want to be in and that we should not be in. Then over here we can see other emotions like nervousness. Are we nervous when we're trading? If so, why? This is also something that we're gonna look at later, how we can use emotions like being nervous and turn it into opportunity. Okay, this is a concept that is very important to understand and to know how to utilize. But this is something that I will dive into in part 2 of this video, how we can turn anxiety and emotions that we think are not good for us, like being nervous or anxious thoughts, etc., how we can take these emotions and turn them into opportunity. But that's in part 2. For now, let's take a look at what stress and anxiety in more details does to the body. First up, what we have to understand about stress and anxiety is that they are both part of the body's natural fight or flight response. Okay, so when someone feels under threat, the body releases stress hormones. The fight or flight response can kick in when someone faces a physical or emotional, real or perceived threat. This is important to understand, and especially in the case of trading, because if we constantly perceive the market as being a threat to us, we will be in a lot of trouble. Okay? So these stress hormones that are being released, they are the ones that cause the heart to beat faster, which results in more blood pumping to the organs and limbs, and at the same time away from the neocortex, which is our conscious part of the brain where higher cognitive functions happen. And this is why we lose the ability to consciously make the right trading decisions. If we get to the point where our body starts releasing these stress hormones, then we have lost the battle, because our blood is not where it should be, and we are not consciously able to act in a way that benefits us. You might be thinking now, how does all of this relate to trading? Let's take a look, okay? Let's take a look at an example here. So let's think about it for a second, okay? Trading deals in risk, in uncertainty, in the unknown essentially. And this is seen as a threat, because when we put our hard-earned money on the line, when we are risking our money in trading, and the outcome of the trade is essentially unknown, it's uncertain, our brain starts perceiving this as a threat, because there's a real chance that we will lose our money. And we all have different risk appetites and belief systems. So how we view money and our belief systems influences how we trade the markets. So let's think about it for a second, right? Why do we get stressed and anxious? What did I just say? Trading deals in risk, uncertainty, and the unknown. These parameters are like literally the opposite of safety, security. They are parameters that can trigger stress. This is the life of a trader. This is the life of a job in a performance-based activity. So let's take a look at this example here on this chart. I wanna bring this up so we all can understand this point more deeply, okay? Look at the chart here, this setup. So this is something that I like to trade. Gotta move up. We got an uptrend followed by 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave correction. This pattern here is screaming to me that one more up will come. But let's just see what happened. I would be buying, by the way, in here. Oh, wait. What? What just happened? Let's say that this just happened, right? And I'm trading this in real time. And this is not within my expectations. And you were buying here, how do you react to that? Will you get annoyed because, well, you got stopped out of the trade? And even stressed out because, oh no, the same thing happened yesterday? Or do you already suffer from anxiety because this has happened to you 6 times in a row now? And I'm constantly worrying about being stopped out now, and therefore you take profit too early. Or maybe we're just closing out our trade randomly now because we're so anxious, so scared, so annoyed that, oh no, this might happen again. So the moment you start feeling this emotion, stress or anxiety, the moment you perceive this as a threat to your hard-earned money, you have lost the battle. Because the moment the stress hormones release into your system and the blood flow pump away from your thinking brain, the neocortex, it becomes really hard to consciously, rationally, objectively make decisions. This is how everything connects now, okay? I hope you can see it. How our body's response to stress, to anxiety, the flight or fight system, what it does to our body, and the way markets are, that we deal in risk, in uncertainty, and this is seen as a threat, which can then trigger our emotional responses. And if this is something that constantly happens, for example, this move here, if we keep taking losing trades, then it can develop into a problem, into anxiety. Okay then, that was quite a lot of information. But what's my point here? First and foremost, we have to understand that stress in trading is normal. There will always be stress when dealing with risk and uncertainty. But it's when that stress turns into distress and it affects our performance that we are in trouble. Because stress and emotions are really not our enemies, guys. Okay, we cannot trade without emotions, and essentially we can't be like robots. That's just not a thing. Because emotions are part of being human, and they are not something that we can get rid of. Nor should we try to get rid of them. Because this is something that I spoke about earlier, that emotions can be a valuable source of information. Because we can turn emotions into opportunity, into a form of improvement tool. And this is really, really true when we're dealing with performance-based occupations, where we always will be faced with emotions. So what we should do is start to view emotions and stress from a different lens, a different perspective that can elevate our trading game. Oh, okay. So this was quite a lot of information, and I'm going to end the video here so that you guys can soak it all in and process all of it. But in the next video, we're going to talk about how you can turn anxiety and emotions into potential opportunities and basically overcome anxiety. This is information that is inspired by Dr. Brett Steenbarger. He's a trading psychologist, and I hope that by learning about this information, you guys can become better and that it can help you in your trading journeys as it has helped me. Okay then. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button. See you later.